Hi, I'm Rowan and welcome to my kitchen. Today on Baking Away the Blues we're going to be making a brownie. This brownie has a lot of things in it. It's my little brother's 19th birthday and so I'm making him a brownie for his birthday cake. For this recipe you will need 180 grams of unsalted butter, 190 grams of 70% dark chocolate, 90 grams of all-purpose or plain flour, 45 grams of cocoa powder and 275 grams of golden caster sugar. The first thing you need to do is melt your dark chocolate and butter together. Now you can do this in a microwave or you can do it on a hob if you just take a saucepan, put a little bit of water in the bottom and a glass bowl on top. Put the butter and the chocolate in the glass bowl and just stir it and the steam from the water will melt it quite gently. So I'm just going to take the butter, put that in, and take the dark chocolate and put that in as well. And then I'm just going to leave that on the hob until it's melted all together, so there are no lumps in it. And then I'm going to take it out, or take the bowl off the water, and just leave it to cool until it's sort of room temperature. While that's happening, I'm going to sieve my flour and my cocoa powder to make sure there are no lumps in it. Now you're going to want to do this into just a small bowl because the main part of the main mixing bowl you're going to be using is not the one that you're sieving it into at the moment. Once it's all sieved through, just set that to the side. Now you need to take your main mixing bowl and beat together the sugar and the eggs until they're about double in size and kind of milkshake thick. The way that you can tell when they're done is that you will lift the whisk up and trail some of the mix that's on the whisk. It will fall off, trail on top, and for a few seconds it will rest on top before sinking into the mixture. So we're just going to crack the eggs into here. Pour in the sugar. Then you're just going to whisk with an electric whisk on a medium to high sort of speed. You can do this by hand, it will just take a lot longer. So once that's done, you're going to add the cooled chocolate and butter mix into the egg mixture. Now you've got to make sure that this is really cooled down because you don't want to start to cook the eggs. Just take a spatula and really gently fold it in until they're combined. Now the chocolate and butter is pretty heavy, so it's going to want to sink down to the bottom of the bowl, so make sure you get your spatula all the way down, lift it, put it back on top so you don't miss like pools of the chocolate mixture. Now when that's just mixed in together, so don't overwork it, you're going to take your flour and cocoa powder, add that in and then fold that through as well. Now don't worry if at first it seems like it's going to be a little bit dry or a bit stiff, just keep mixing it through and it will come together. Okay, let's talk about the best bit. Personalization! The basic recipe that I've given you will pretty much go with any kind of brownie that you want to make. And so in this little beautiful array that I've put across here, we have some Oreos, some chocolate that you can make into chocolate chunks, you've got chopped nuts, you've got Maltesers, you can pretty much put anything in there really. Now the normal ones that I make and the ones that are on my blog with the recipe have 150 grams of white chocolate in them and then 50 grams of milk chocolate cut into chunks. Take this and with the blunt end get some of the Oreos, shove them in there and some of the Maltesers and just crush them up. And then I will do the chunks. So me and Elliot's style of brownies is go big or go home. So the chunks are pretty much just going to be the size of the chunks that the chocolate's going to come in, but I'll cut out with a knife just in case you need. Just plop those in there. And I'm going to get all of the chocolate chunks and put them in as well. And we're just going to store them in. Beautiful. Awesome. And then just put this into the oven for about 25 minutes and it'll be done. Now the brownies have been in the oven for about 20 minutes, so I've got 5 minutes to go, but I'm just going to tell you about how to check if they're done. Now normally when you do say cakes, you might take a skewer, put it in, take it out, and if it came out wet or with batter clinging to it, then the cake needs a little bit more time. And if it came out clean, you know cakes are done. With brownies, they're really gooey in the middle, and especially these that have the chocolate chunks that are going to go liquidy. It's kind of difficult to tell if they're done. So it's a little bit of intuition. A good way that you can do is to take the pan and just go like that slightly, shake it slightly, and if it's still wobbling in the middle, it probably needs a little bit longer. So these are the brownies. They are nicely baked. Another good way that you can tell if they're done is if you just tilt it slightly, it doesn't move. If it's not done, then the raw bits would sort of start to slide and you see it kind of become a little bit weighted towards one end, but these are looking perfect. So if you just grab hold of the greaseproof paper, lift it out, and then just leave it to cool. And once the brownie is cooled, you just cut it into slices to eat. Now these pictures are of my success brownies, not of Elliot's cake brownies we just made because they got eaten too fast by Elliot's friends. So yeah, these are pretty much exactly the same recipe. The only difference you might note is that they have got some Oreos and Maltesers on top. Basically, as soon as you put the batter into the tin, sprinkle some Oreos and Maltesers on top, or any of your filling that you like, and then put them into the oven exactly the same as the recipe we've just shown you.
Happy birthday! Yay! Birthday times!
I do not.
Birthday. Sneaky ovens. Sneaky ovens.
It's conspiracy.
They're so sneaky.